Hello everyone, Anand back again. I'm sure all of you are doing great. What do you think about when you heard a word called resource or resource management or resource utilization? Before we talk about management or utilization, let us only take the word resource and maybe we can dive a little deeper to understand the more and more of it. I have been hearing these words right from childhood. My parents used to tell me that use the resource, conserve energy, conserve uh, time, use time wisely, don't spend money lavishly, save money. You know, these are some of the words which normally we hear in our household discussions. Parents always tell children, at least from the Indian context. This is a commonly used term, especially when you grow up from middle class family. This is quite often we hear from the parents and elders. As we grow, we also get mature to understand more and more deeper understanding of resource in various ways. It's not just about money. It's not just about the materialistic aspects of life. When you get into job market or when you get into your own profession or business, we talk about resource utilization and resource management quite often, almost every single day. We talk human resource. Human is a resource, right? And then we talk about supplier as a resource, people who supply products to your organization, right? Whom we call vendors or service providers. And even if you get into stock market, we talk about supply of money. Stock purchases happens through investment, right? Where we talk about how do we utilize our resource, our financial resource. So anything and everything that we use, you just have to add resource as a prefix. You will be able to now connect multiple dots. Money is a resource, goods are resources, material is a resource, human being is a resource, technology is a resource, right? And energy is a resource, naturally. And when you look at air, water, Panjabhutas, all are resources created by nature. But the question is, there are people who are extremely wise, extremely smart, extremely well informed, and know the trick of the trade as to how to utilize the resource much better, more sophisticatedly, and more conservatively too. But there are people who uses resources by the way. It comes, it goes out. I just want to take only three resources which are very, very essential and very, very useful for us to discuss little more deeper in this podcast. One, energy. Whether you take mental energy or your physical energy or your kinetic energy, energy is energy, right? You can just apply this with multiple things in our metabolism, in our life. The more we use the energy which is available, which is acquired by us, which is gifted by nature, unwantedly, unnecessarily, obviously we will end up with the energy depletion. So the energy gets depleted and then we will start searching for such energy because we lost it. So the utilization of energy in our own system, in our own body, mind, knowledge, have to be absolutely consciously, we need to attempt to preserve it so that we can, as long as we live, we can really utilize it in a much, much prudent way, and which will not only help us, which will also help our family and our family members, because we don't really seek help from others, because we ourselves can manage many things. Straight away, I'm talking about physical energy and mental energy. Now you'll be able to connect both the dots, especially youth. You can really dive deep on this subject by Googling it, by listening to YouTube videos where the energy conservation and energy utilization is talked much widely by various doctors and subject matter experts. The second resource I would like to touch upon is money. Mooladhara, right? So the moolah, as they call it. So the money is one of the important resources that we have to utilize it, we have to conserve it, we have to preserve it, we have to multiply it to the best of the possible options available in our understanding. Even if you don't have much understanding about it, I think it's better we can always catch up with experts who are good in this, who have a lot of wisdom to share it with us. Because gone are the days when it comes to money, people don't even talk about it. I mean, it's considered as a private matter, so nobody talks about it. Today, a lot of advisors, a lot of financial planners have come out in the marketplace. Today, widely spoken subject is money. Even at home, we don't really talk big thing about money. In fact, in some of the houses, when we talk about money, it's like you are not supposed to open up. You are not supposed to talk. It's a mistake. So elders say, no, let's suppose you go and offer your inputs to your relatives, let's say, for example. We all visit our families, relatives, but we don't talk about money. I mean, we are not going to ask them how much you are earning or how much you are spending. We are only talking about how to utilize money and multiply that money and make it better. Somebody has better way of suggesting to another person. It's always cross-learning, right? Nobody is perfect in this world, and everybody is trying to attempt their own way of utilizing that money resource much bigger way, better way, smart way. But we don't talk. How much ever we are very close, we think that it's private. I don't think so. As long as you don't step into the quantity of money in the other person, general concepts you can always discuss. You can always talk about what are the funds available, what is called mutual fund, what is systematic investment plan, what is RD, what is the difference between the conservative way of saving money or aggressive way of investing money, and what is the difference between savings and investments, and what is stock market. There are so many asset classes like gold, real estate, and government bonds, post office, RD, PPF. There are so many things. All of us know. It's not that I'm just telling you that you don't know. All of us know, and all of us are investing in our own ways, saving in our own ways. But we don't talk. We think that it is private. But we go to somebody who's a very unknown person and we pay fees and we listen to him. Maybe your next door neighbor or your own family relatives may be very good in that subject, but we don't open up. So again, it is a resource underutilization, according to me. Coming back to the topic of resource, even to talk about money with another person who may be a subject matter expert, but we don't utilize because he's very close, proximity. But we say we are very close, we are cousins, we are relatives, but we don't talk about this subject. Why? Nothing wrong. After all, today, people are on YouTube and sex education is taught. I saw one of the videos recently, 2 young ladies, they were discussing literally about everything about sex. So that is open up. That has opened up. And why not about money? Why not about investments? Why not about savings? We are not teaching anything wrong, right? We are only trying to help each other, learn from each other, to utilize this resource, money resource, wisely for our own benefits. So second is money. Third one is about relationship. I mean, I would call relationships also a resource. When we have grandparents at home, huge resource for us, huge resource, human resource. So when you have a family, I know somebody's family very closely, and there are 15 people in that family. In one single house, there are 15 people in that family. Lovely, right? what a resource they have. In fact, it's not just when you have money in your bank or in your wallet or when you're in your stock market that millionaire or a billionaire. Even human resources also can be considered in such fashion. When I have 15 people at home or 5 people at home, nowadays even when you talk more than 3 or 4, it's big family, joint family. Husband, wife, child. That's our modern style, right? Only one child. The moment you have 3, 4 family members, and we think them, we always tell them like, it's a big family, it's a joint family. Gone are the days where easily every house used to have 5, 6 people minimum. Your aunt, your uncle, everybody used to be there. So utilization of the resource, human resource for relationship, the relationship utilization or celebrating the relationship with the human resource is, I think, it's a blessing. Not that everyone has this blessing. So we should actually, I think we should educate our children. We should educate our next generation that relationship is a resource. Need not be just about our blood relations. I am talking about even friends, our neighbors. The place where we live, our neighborhood. Suppose you are living in a place where you're there for 20 years, 30 years, definitely you would have developed good equation, chemistry with your neighborhood, right? That is also a resource. Because when you are in a difficult situation in life, who's going to really help you out? Not the person or your very close cousin who's away 200 kilometers. The next door neighbor is going to help you out. He may not be your blood relation, but he's a neighborhood person. Again, it's a resource. So how we build our resource, how we relate with them makes all the difference. So ultimately, when it comes to resource management, I think money, energy for self, right? Physical, mental and emotional, and the relationship with people. So people, money and energy. All the three are great resources, and we need to really use it to the peak and also help others so that we can have a very peaceful and quality life as long as we are in this planet. Finally, before I conclude, I thought I'll also share one more input about my understanding about resource as a subject. There are a lot of negative emotions. When you look at emotion, there are two things, right? Negative emotions and positive emotions. So when we release negative emotions like anger, fear and depression and unnecessary words and conversations with people, obviously we actually keep ourselves very low. We lie low. We feel always low. The moment we shift our focus to positive emotion and with a lot of love and abundant thinking and affectionate words, kindness and compassion, and I think that will utilize the positive emotions of our inner feelings into a different sphere altogether. It will put us to a different orbit altogether. So when it comes to resource management with respect to emotions and feelings, I think we should try to develop and cultivate the positive emotions and positive mindset, positive attitude, never say die attitude. Even though we may succumb to some temporary challenges, temporary fall, temporary issues in our life, but I mean even these two shall pass away, right? So at one point in time everything will pass away, so we keep moving, the life is keep going, and I'm sure you all agree with me and use the resource in every possible way, in a positive way, especially the three things. There are multiple things, but three things which appeal to me, which is energy, money and relationship. Thank you very much for your patient listening, and I'll come back to you next week with another topic. Thank you so much.